You're gonna see us do a number of things in today's video. We're kind of chasing a bunch of loose ends. We need to finish this island. We're gonna be working on the roof a bunch and working on getting the framing ready to go for the inspection that's coming up.
We've got a limited amount of times to get things done, so all the videos coming up are going to be doing all the things. First up is the countertop on the island, because we're looking to start getting this finished. Started it on a channel membership video. This is original wood from this home that we cut out of the ceilings, and we have planed it down, and it's kind of been used as a workbench. It will get all the way sanded down, and it looks wet, but it's not wet, it's resin. But our mistake when we did this on channel membership the other day is that we didn't have enough tape and stuff on the bottom, so it was leaking through. So today we're gonna do a second attempt to get this done, and what it's gonna do is this resin will fill in all the cracks, all the little areas where the crumb catchers will be. This is a great option even if you're not doing it on a countertop, to do it on a farm table, so that way you're not getting food down in all the cracks.
We're using amazing clear cast resin. You can pick this up at jamirayvintage.com. It cures clear and really hard. It's a slow curing resin, takes 24 hours to completely cure up, but it's gonna work really, really well on all of these cracks.
While you can absolutely do a resin finish on your countertop, for us, we're just gonna fill in the cracks, and then we're gonna sand this down super smooth, get rid of all the work table situations happening on here, and then we're gonna finish it with Sweet Pickens oil wax in white. So we are simply just filling in the cracks with this clear resin. If you were gonna be doing the countertop, you would need multiple boxes, and you would want to make sure you've got a nice stiff ledge so it doesn't go over the edge, and make sure you've got a, what are those called? Blow torches?
Blowtorch to get the bubbles out.
To get the bubbles out, but don't burn it. I don't like super shiny surfaces, so we're not doing this for that.
So make sure you're doing this in a really well ventilated area. Once you mix the two parts, the side A and the side B, it does have a chemical reaction and will off gas.
And wear gloves. This is not like the resin we use for appliques. It takes 24 hours to set up.
So you can see bubble is pushing up. There was an air pocket down in here, and I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. And in just a sec, I'll get my torch out and we'll just hit this real fast, because you don't want to start the curing process prematurely. And we'll just do a light run over it with the torch to get any bubbles out.
As it starts to settle, you might want to check underneath and just make sure that it's not dripping. If you've done your job correctly and taped it up well enough or used cardboard, you should be good.
If you don't have a torch, you can kind of prick these if you have big bubbles or things that you don't want with a needle. Right here, there's a large area. Just gonna kind of hit it real quick. That'll heat that air up in there and make those bubbles rise to the surface and pop. You want to be pretty fast with your heat. Too much heat can make the chemical reaction go too fast, and you'll get like little crystalline type cracks. I'm up here on the roof waiting on that resin to cure. Getting some of these boards up there. We're starting to sheet it. You can see behind me, and I'm just working off the roof here. It's pretty easy to get to. The other side, I'm gonna get the lift, and when I get up to the center, I'm gonna put an anchor up there, and we'll get the harness out and work our way that way. It's almost starting to feel like a house. I've got the scissor lift back, and I'm just carrying a board up at a time, using it to do the edge of the sheeting on the fascia and the soffit up on top. I'm gonna go all the way along all the edges, and then I'll work from the top down. That way I'm not like out here hanging over the concrete, and make it easier. I'm also gonna use it to lift up all of the shingles and the tar paper and things like that. You know, every time I add another piece to this house, I'm like, oh, maybe we went too big. That is really high. Here comes the tricky part. I used the lift to put a nail way down there to hold the string line, and now I just snapped it so that I've got a nice straight line, and I've got to cut it out to that end. I think I'm gonna cut half up here off the ladder, and then I'll go get on the lift and cut half down there. We'll get you the wide view so you can kind of see here. So I'm gonna pull the nail out, just toss that up over, that way I can roll that up later, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this half, then I'll have to go back over there and cut that half. But I wanted to get the string out of the way and pull this nail first.
Zeb is upstairs working on OSB to get the roof all the way sheeted. Our resin is dry from yesterday, so I'm just gonna be using the belt sander first to sand off the resin, and then I'll finish it with my orbital to get it ready for sealer.
All right, we are on the roof. Harness is on. And we're getting going here. Had that tacked up so that I could put boards on there. Gotta finish this long run here. So being up here on this anchor, it's essentially like being on belay. And I love me some rock climbing. I'm just doing some roof climbing today. So it's coming along. I've got about 4 more sheets to put on over here. Then that hip over on that side, and then this half a hip and a valley, and I'll be done with the sheeting. So we have decided to put some trim around this table. It's going to make it look like it's got a 2-inch lip, and we're going to then resin and fill in the other little cracks. Never underestimate how much resin 100-year-old lumber will soak up.
Well, and you think that you got everywhere. I sanded it down and there were just a few more places we missed. So 3rd time's a charm. We're gonna frame this out, resin one last time, and then it should be ready to be put on the island.
Can you hold that real nice and flush? That 45 needs to be right at the very edge. Otherwise we'll get a little bit of a gap.
Okay, it's right. Well, it's not exactly, there we go.
So I'm gonna put another hole right here for the countersink. We'll fill these with 3/8 inch plugs, wood plugs, and then the resin will fill in any gaps or cracks, and we'll be able to sand that real nice and smooth. It'll look like one continuous top.
Nice.
We're running out of old lumber, so right here I've got a 45, and then I'm just gonna butt this up against there like so, and then I'll cut my other 45. I'll mark it. I like to mark things out when I'm doing trim rather than measure it. Then my 45 will run that way, and we'll screw this part on too.
That's a lot of sanding.
All right, so I've taped up on the bottom of this.
Well, more and more the addition is starting to look like a house.
We wanted to get the island done, but we keep finding little spots that need resin, and it takes 24 hours to cure, so we gotta hit the spots, and then we wait for it to cure, and then we find more. It's a thing. So hopefully by Friday's video, we have that done, and we'll set it on and put the legs on it.
If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss the next episode to see what we do at the house. Make sure you guys are hitting up JamiRayVintage.com for the paint and products that we use. JamiRayVintageHome.com is where we sell our antiques, vintage finds, clothing, face stuff, all the amazing things. Both those websites help support this build and our channel. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.